Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cosmic Crusade podcast. I'm your host Jay, and I hope that you are all ready for a magnificent day, because I know that I am, okay? I am sitting here, I got my little juice moment, okay? This is a fresh squeezed juice of a blood orange. Shout out to my friend Popa for the citrus juicer, amazing. And shout out to my friend Shay for this cute little glass, okay? Guess you could say this beverage is sponsored by Friendship. But anyways, I hope you are all doing well. I hope this video finds you well. Let's just go ahead and get right into this week's episode. This week, I am hitting you with a reading. I am hitting you with a tarot reading that is going to be the core, that is going to be the focus of this episode, okay? So lock in, get comfy, get cozy, get ready to talk about some mystic shit, some cryptic shit, and all the wonderful weird things in between. Now, you know I gotta hit you with my little life updates, okay? You know I'm gonna hit you with a little high-low water buffalo, bringing it back, babes. Yes, okay? Now, I think that the high point of my life in this past week or so really has... I gotta shout out the weather, okay? I gotta shout out the weather, because that has just been so nice, so wonderful, so beautiful, and just the way that it is energetically impacting everybody. It's like the first day that it was sunny, everybody was super happy, everybody was super nice, right? Like, we are getting back with that energy. And then also shout out to the sun, because that lunar eclipse, oh, I saw it, and it was beautiful. It was wonderful. It was really cool. That's the one time that I was really grateful to be opening, was so that I could wake up and see the moon. For a water buffalo, I've been booking a vacation. I'm starting to think about a vacation and kind of figure out what I want to do this year. I know that I certainly want to do a vacation. These past few years for me have been kind of staycations, you know, like I'm just requesting time away from work and I'm just chilling at home in my own space and vibing, which is wonderful, okay? Cost effective, number one. So healing, number two. So peaceful, number three, okay? It is a wonderful time. I love a staycation, and I'm here for it. But, you know, I just wanted to do something a little different this year. I just wanted to do something a little bit more exciting. I was just looking back to my goals for the year, and like, this wasn't necessarily on it, but right now I'm thinking of a cruise, okay? I'm thinking for like the goals we need to add a cruise, right? I've been thinking and yearning to take a trip to the seas for like these past 2, maybe 3 years. It's been in my mind, you know, I've been thinking about it. But I think this year, manifesting that, okay, baby, she's gonna be our reality. I will be finding myself at sea, okay? And that's where I wanna be, at sea, having fun, living my best life, living la vida loca. But yeah, so we're kind of in the thought process of starting that plotting and that planning and figuring out where we want to go, what we want to do, how long we're going to be doing, you know, where we're going to be leaving, and you know, all the fun things that you get to do when you're starting the planning stages of your vacation time. Yeah, so I'm really very excited for all of that. You know, starting the planning of things gets me really excited, you know, because it's like, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm visualizing it, the more that it's just gonna happen, okay? And then a low, I'm not too certain. I don't think I've had a really bad week. I don't think anything crazy's been happening. So I guess like for a low, it's just that I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have like any sort of events planned. I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. It was just a plain Jane week, you know? No real lows, no real lows. I did send back my ancestry test, though. I did ancestry DNA, and they said that they couldn't process my DNA. Weird. But they sent me another test, and I got that all sent back, so fingers crossed right now that in a few months I'll understand my ethnic background and my ancestry, because, wow, I'm just trying to figure it out, but apparently they're saying, no, we have to keep your DNA, and we're going to clone you, and we're going to use you in the government or something crazy like that. Rude. But anyways, that's all shipped out and that is all ready to go. So I'm very excited for that and to get those results back. That's definitely going to be something that I'm excited to learn about myself, you know? Because I have an idea, right? I have a general basis, but, you know, learning the specifics and the breakdowns of percentages of this and that to figure out what makes up me, what's my little genetic makeup going on there. But yeah, that's been me. That's been my life in this past little bit. Seeing the moon, working the work, coming home, making delicious dinners, and hanging out and planning a little cruise situation. But without further ado, let's go ahead and let's just start our little pick a card, any card, tarot card reading. Okay, I gotta bring y'all in close so you can see this next bit. All right, so here are the piles that you may select from. Just feel it out, you know, maybe take a moment to look at each crystal, the placement of the piles, the order, you know, whatever calls to you. If you look at any of these cards, any of these piles here, any of these crystals, and you're saying, wow, that is me. That, I love that, that's beautiful. You know, there's some sort of pull to it, there's an attraction to it, whatever it is, you know, just take a moment here, sit with it, and pick your deck. You can select whichever deck that you feel most called to. This is going to be a timeless tarot reading, okay? So whenever this is coming out to you, this is for you. And as always, whatever is resonating with you in your life and your storyline, take that. And if something really just doesn't seem like it's for you, if something just doesn't seem like that's what you want to be doing and that's how you want to be existing in your life, you know, tarot is a snapshot of the now. You can always change trajectory. So take what resonates and leave what does not. But for deck 1 here, we have the flower agate. The flower agate for deck 1. And deck 2, we have bismuth. Bismuth is our second pile here. And for deck 3, we have amethyst. Amethyst for deck 3. So let's go ahead and dive in and get a little reading action. All right, group 1, the flower agate. Let's go ahead and let's dive into your reading here. Now, for this reading, we are going to be pulling cards and reading cards from a tarot deck, and then we also do have 2 oracle decks that we will be utilizing as well to give us a little bit more insight, a little bit more of a deep dive, and some answers to your questions mayhaps. But let's go ahead and dive in here and see what we got. So the first tarot that we have pulled here, this is the 4 of Swords, but she's reversed. Okay, the 4 of Swords in reversed. Next up, we also have another reversal within the moon. The moon reversed. And the Queen of Pentacles, and she's also reversed. Like I've said before, reversal doesn't innately mean that something is better or something is worse. It just is showing a different aspect of the energies within those cards, right? So going through here with the 4 of Swords, it's giving overworked. It's giving exhaustion. Okay, are you tired? Do you realize that you're tired, or are you just too worried about what you gotta get done and you're constantly thinking, oh, well, I have this to do. This is coming up. This needs paid. I have to schedule this. Breathe. Take a good old deep breath, a good little, you know, sit with yourself, have a moment, you know, take a little vacation moment. Book a cruise. Take a little weekend away, you know, just even if you're just scheduling off like an extra day out of the week from work, and breathe. This is very much the energy. The energy of the 4 of Swords is like you're overworked, you know, you're just feeling overwhelmed, attacked from multiple areas in life. We're just getting this overall sensation of you need more time. You need to relax. You need to recover, rejuvenate, and maybe just find a way to give yourself more of that space in your life in general, right? Taking time and giving back to yourself. You have to fill your cup, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give to somebody else if you have nothing. So you gotta take care of yourself too. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the moon. The moon, the reversed, the moon of the reverse of the moon. Now, so the moon has very water sign energy, okay? That is the planetary ruler for Cancer. It's very emotions, right? The moon is emotional. She controls our water here on the planet. And when we're thinking about the moon in the reversal side of tarot, it's your emotions. It's your subconscious. Are you listening? Are you tending to yourself? Are you having those reflective moments? Are you processing what you have been going through? Or are you just like bottling, stuffing it away, you know? eventually your bottle is going to get too full. It's not going to be able to contain anymore, and it's going to burst. That type of situation, right? Like, are we listening to the gut? Are we listening to the intuition and what your body itself is telling you? Or are we just kind of, I don't have time to deal with this right now. This isn't a right now situation. That's a future me problem. It very well could be a right now problem. But like, the message here of the card is hope, right? It's possible to heal, okay? Trauma can feel so overwhelming. If you're experiencing traumatic energy and that's the cause of this card showing up for you, then it's okay. That's a herald here, is what the moon is saying. Is like, baby, you're fine. You just need to allow yourself that space. This is really a call to find healing. It's time to start. Start figuring out how to work through and work on yourself for your own betterment. Because if we're not sorting this out and we're just letting the emotional bottle overflow, then it's gonna be like depression, you know? It's gonna be continued depression and struggle, just overall struggle with life. So take care of yourself. You're important and you deserve it. And for wrapping up here with the tarot, we got to talk about the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, right? I mean, even just looking at this card and the art depiction here, this is very Mother Teresa, very nurturing, very motherly energy. But again, it's that same idea really being hounded in here of you can't give from an empty cup, right? This type of energy is depicting to me a type of person who is so caring, you know, going overboard, going the extra mile for everybody around them, and really tending and caring for their loved ones and taking on all this extra responsibility, but they're working themselves into the ground. Are you working yourself into the ground? Are you working to care for yourself as much as you care for others? Because, you know, if you're feeling like neglected or as if you are not appreciated by those that you are taking care of and you're kind of giving into that resentment energy, that's a call for the time to get back to yourself and reflect to yourself and ask yourself, are my own personal needs being taken care of? Am I having the best care that I could have for myself in this time? Because you have that energy. You offer the best advice, you know, the most thorough insights, the best kind of love and care that you could ask for, period. But you can only give that when you're grounded, when you're balanced, when you have been taken care for and you are in that balanced mindset of flow, right? When everything is just easier. So this is really sounding like someone needs a step back. This is sounding like someone needs to hibernate a little bit. Take a little hibernation, okay? All of these cards right now, it's very pointing towards that. But we do have the Oracle to dive into here, so let's go ahead and see what we've got. We have the full moon in Gemini from the Moon Oracle here. And this is telling us that the answers that you need are coming. Next up, we do have the new moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. And then lastly here for our moon, we have the new moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle begins. Maybe that last one there is just a little bit of hope, you know, just something to get you on through. Maybe it's a relationship type situation. Maybe you find yourself being like dependent, you know, in a toxic codependent relationship and it's not serving you anymore. Maybe you're realizing that you're putting your energy far too much into this person who is undeserving or unmatching of your energy and not giving you that same TLC back. So that's what I'm getting there with the new moon in Libra. And with the Gemini and the Pisces, meditate and contemplate, the answers that you need are coming. Maybe this is something that you've been dealing with for a while. Maybe this is something that has been on your mind. Maybe this has been festering, especially with bottling up the emotions and like not talking about it, not dealing with it, not confronting it, not sitting with yourself, maybe not experiencing a therapist. It's something that really has been weighing with you, but once you address it, once you stop bottling and look at your bottle, pour out that emotional bottle, okay? Lay it all bare and see what you need to deal with, and see what mayhaps traumas you have put away and where you could be healing, okay? Answers that you need are coming. It has that full moon energy, right? It's good energy. Everything will come to a resolution. And I mean, even a new romantic cycle, like, yes, but maybe it's entering an era of your life that you love. Maybe it's romantic in that sense. You're romanticizing your life, okay? Now we do have the mantras. You know I love my mantras, okay? I am safe. I am held. I flow through life at a smooth consistency. I rightfully create and set boundaries that protect and support my peace. I love that one. That last one. For the mantras specifically, I rightfully create and set boundaries that protect and support my peace. And that, something I'm going to be pondering for you, my little flower agate babes. Are you doing that? Are you effectively communicating your wants and needs and boundaries with the prioritization of self? Okay, you're flowing through life at a smooth consistency. You can't rush. You can't rush into things. You can't rush through things. Life is too short for that type of energy. It's all about being present and being in the moment. What is weighing on you now? What burdens do you have now? And how can we rid ourselves of the negativity, of these burdens, of anything that's weighing us down, to exist in flow again? You're safe. You are held. Affirmation. 100% affirmation and validation that no matter where you're at, and no matter how hard, how difficult, how impossible things may seem, it's going to be okay. That card is definitely signaling to me that things are going to be a little unfavorable, a little rocky. But then again, it's that yin-yang thought process of you have to go through some bad to appreciate the good. This is just a low point so you can get to the high point. That's what I'm getting out of this, okay? So for my flower agate babes, keep your head held high. Check in with yourself. Maybe check in with a therapist too. And know that it's okay. It's okay to feel your feelings. It's okay to have rough eras. It's okay to have lows. And it's okay to change. It's okay to understand that you are now in a new position from where you once were, and you might need new boundaries. And it's okay to have those boundaries, all right? Peace and love, babes. That's amazing. I hope all the best for you. All right, group number 2. Okay, we have my Bismuth babes. This is, personally, my favorite crystal. I mean, she's gorge. But let's go ahead and dive in and start looking through your tarot reading. The first card we have is the 5 of Wands, followed by the 7 of Wands. Okay, wand energy. I see you. And then bringing us out here, we do have the 6 of Cups. Gorge, yeah. So, I mean, the 5 of Wands, right? Look at her. This is really kind of chaotic energy, yeah? And the imagery does very well to display that. It's a lot of hustle and bustle. It's a lot of like competition and like everybody's fighting. And I mean, it's unclear as to like a certain winner or any outcome in this card, but there really is that energy of confusion and conflict. But this is the type of pressure or like incentive that is really used to get you to a position that you wouldn't have found yourself in with before, right? It's to kind of push you out of your comfort zone and to see what you bring to the table. Now, this is like maybe a self-discovery situation. You might learn something new about yourself that you didn't know you could do. But then again, it also could be very much that like combative fighting of like, you know, we're competing for a prize, we need this new position. Like, I want to be the one in power, I want status, I want control. It could be very much that as well, all right? Now, next we do have the Seven of Wands. And what you're going to notice within the Seven energy is that it's a lot of protection, right? It's a lot of you are defending your position, you are standing your ground, and you are taking the battle on, right? Whether that be in any area of life, career, relationship, whatever it might be, you are taking the stance and having this sort of fight, whether it's out of like stubbornness, whether it's out of conviction in your beliefs, or maybe it's fear, or maybe it's just that innate calling to be kind of protective of what you love, you will find yourself standing your ground and taking a strong stance. Now, there are challenges, right? You are fighting against something, but it's absolutely surmountable. You definitely can find yourself in the victory lane, right? You're doing your little victory dance, okay? This is something that will be a little challenge, a little difficult, but it's not something to be very concerned with. It might just mean that you're putting a little bit more effort into something. You're putting a little bit more work into something. You know, you're being bold, you're taking a risk maybe, and maybe that risk is how you find yourself in this position of positivity and winning this situation for yourself. But either way, there's definitely a defensive, protective energy here within the Seven of Wands. Next up, we do have the Six of Cups. Beautiful imagery. Within the Six of Cups, there is just such a strong energy of harmony, energy of restfulness, energy of compassion. It's sort of like childlike wonder. It's sort of like that. It's sort of you're connecting with your inner child and you're doing some of that healing that happens just through connecting to your inner child, mayhaps. Maybe there's a bit of nostalgia too, you know? Maybe you're reconnecting with some old friends from childhood. But you could also find yourself creating these moments and creating this energy for children. If you're someone who interacts with children on a regular basis, that might ring true for you. But it seems that after we go through this lightly chaotic, kind of combative energy of the wands, we're gonna really find Zen. We're really gonna find a state where everything just works out. It's giving community. Yes, it's giving, we take care of each other and we support each other and uplift each other to maintain that restful, compassionate energy. Now, when we're looking to our moon oracle here, we see emotions are running high. A new start is coming. And you can expect powerful change. I mean, that kind of reads the same for me, right? Like, it's, you're in a situation and things are crazy, things are chaotic, you are very emotional about the situation, but there's a new start on the horizon. You know, you have something to look forward to, you have an escape, you have a way out, you have a resolution within your mind that you can manifest and visualize and create to be here. And it's going to be powerful. It's going to be immense change in your life to bring about more of the communal compassion and restorative energy. Now, when we're looking at our mantra deck here, I attract success and new opportunities effortlessly. I must serve within me before I can serve beyond me. I love myself, respect myself, and I accept myself exactly as I am. I mean, just boom. How absolutely validating, you know? And this is very, it's kind of ironic to me as well, because Bismuth is the stone of transformation. So it makes so much sense that everything that is spoken about here within this card, within this reading, is that, like, yes, you're in a state now and you're going to change. You're going to find something new. You're going to find something better, right? You are going to attract all of these new opportunities, all of these new ways for you to see success, and all of these different avenues for which you might feel successful, might feel fulfilled within your life, you know? It's very that. It might be a bumpy road. getting there, but it's not about that. That's not what the main focus should be. We're gonna be achieving something really awesome, really great, really fortuitous for your life, abundant, right? It's giving abundant energies coming to you. You just have to do that work, that struggle, the little whatever blimp is gonna be coming up for you soon. You're gonna not necessarily enjoy it. It's not gonna be great. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, but you kind of have to go through that. You have to be pushed in that way. Like the universe is leading you to that direction very mindfully and very intentfully, because otherwise you would not have found yourself in this scenario towards the future of having the new start, having powerful change, having abundance and compassion. You would not have had that exact experience in that way. It's very intentful and it's very abundant and fortuitous. So Group 2, that was a reading for you. I hope it rings true, and honestly, peace, love, and abundance to you all. Right, and wrapping us up here, Group 3, Amazing Amethyst. This is a little guy. I'm pretty certain I mined that one myself from a gem mining cave, so how exciting. Looking for your tarot reading here. We have the King of Swords. Here's our first card. Next up, we do have the Three of Swords, but she is in a reverse. And wrapping us up for our core tarot here, we have the Ace of Wands. Now, so for the King of Swords, usually this is talking about a person in specific, a person in particular, but it could also just be describing energies that are around you, influencing you, or that you in yourself have, some traits that you have personally, okay? But when we're looking towards the King of Swords, we are seeing very particular, very meticulous, right? We have rules, we have standards, we have safety, we have regulations. We're very logical, very loyal, very clear seeing. We have a vision, we're executing it, right? And this is just how it should be. This is expected. But there also could be that authoritarian figure, that like authoritarian energy coming through, right? That's kind of the downside of the King of Swords. That's the negative energy aspect that they withhold. In a sense, kind of like lacking in that sympathy department, right? Just being the authoritarian ruler and demanding things go a very particular way, and to those who don't. But in general, you will find like very charming, charismatic, very rationally minded energy within these types of people. They're really great at upholding themselves with a sort of calm, balanced energy that others will feel when they're around them. And that is the allure. That's the attraction to them, yes? Next up, we are going to dig in with the Three of Swords, but she's reversed. We aren't completely eliminating those sensations of hurt, those sensations of loss, those sensations of pain that you would find in an upright meaning of a Three of Swords. That's still there, right? But it's muted. It's lessened. You are going to have some pain. You are going to have some sort of negative situation occur, something that's going to hurt your heart a little bit. But it's a little bit. It's less. And like the root of the pain, we're looking towards like the energy of the swords within themselves, right? That's like compartmentalizing, overthinking, or abstracting, like that type of energy, right? That is where the type of hurt would come from in this sense with the reversal of the Three of Swords. So maybe it's a situation where you're just running in your head, right? That overthinker energy, and you're just running yourself into the ground, running yourself into a rut, and your mind just doesn't shut off, and that's what hurts you. The situations in which you're thinking of and just can't let go of, maybe that's harmful for you, right? But let's keep going here. Let's keep digging in. We have the Ace of Wands. Love. The Ace of Wands is kind of like this magic wand in a sense, right? You feel confident, you feel sexy, you feel energetic, you feel empowered to do all of the things that you can set your mind to do. It's kind of that very Sagittarian visionary energy, right? We're bringing that through with the Ace of Wands. You dream it, you think it, you can have it. That's kind of what we're working with here, in a sense, right? And with it being an ace, we're kind of embarking on a new path, in a sense, right? So there's a new opportunity, a new adventure, maybe a new career path coming your way, and you're embarking on it, and it's going to be very successful. It's going to be abundant and fortuitous for you. Love that. Okay, so let's dive into the moon. And for you guys, I do want to let you know, side note real quick, with this moon oracle, I pulled 3 cards for everybody else. And that's not me selecting, that's the deck shooting out the cards for me, right? You got 4, so y'all special or whatever. So the new moon in Scorpio is inspiring us to work through our fears. And funnily enough, we do have the full moon in Scorpio, reminding us and heralding a time to release negativity. We have the waxing crescent moon giving us faith in our dreams. And the first quarter moon is letting us know that our commitment is being tested. Now moving on to the mantras. I value myself in the highest regard, and it shows. I value myself in the highest regard, and it shows. My vulnerability and ability to feel fearlessly are my superpowers. My vulnerability and ability to feel fearlessly are my superpowers. My heart is open to give and receive unconditional love. My heart is open to give and receive unconditional love. So I think you guys here in group 3 are gonna have a bit of a bumpy start, just like a little bump in the road initially, in these next coming months, looking towards this quarter moon, having your commitment being tested. That kind of ties into the energy of the 3 of Swords and the King of Swords. Maybe it's talking about a position where you're sitting that's being tested, right? Maybe you are existing in that King of Swords energy, but there might be some change. But I do believe that having the Ace of Wands and, working through your fears, it's time to release negativity, have faith in your dreams, it's going to be something good. It's going to be something that is ultimately going to turn out to be fortuitous for you. And at the end of the day, I think it is important for us to kind of remember that it's just a test. It's just a test, The mantras are giving us very emotional energy, right? My vulnerability and ability to feel fearlessly. I value myself in the highest regard. My heart is open. We're giving and receiving unconditional love. I think as long as we are creating this Ace of Wands energy, right? Have faith in your dreams. It can come true for you as long as that's being created through the lens of that emotionality for you. It will be the most fantastic, amazing, fortuitous thing that you could possibly imagine, okay? We're talking like living your life in a way that you didn't believe that you could live your life, doing things for yourself that you may not have previously even envisioned for yourself, even thought of being a possibility to do. But it's time to ask yourself, current state, where you are right now, are you existing in your most positive state? Are you existing doing what you're passionate about? Are you following your passions and your joys? Because if not, then that Scorpio energy, get rid of the negativity, and that might be what is causing the 3 of Swords. It's muted, so maybe it's something that you've learned to deal with. Maybe it's something that you're really good at handling or suppressing, but it's still negativity nonetheless. If you're withholding negativity in your heart space is closed, right? And it's not open to give and receive that unconditional love. Release it. Change your surroundings, adjust however you feel that you would need to in your life to work towards more of the positivity, moving away from the negativity and into the positivity, and allowing yourself to exist within that radiant space, okay? But with the energy of the Amethyst, take a breath, have a Zen moment, have a meditative moment, breathe, and just know everything will pan out exactly in the way that it's intended to, okay? You got good things coming. I'm excited for you all. Okay, peace and love. Yeah, that was so good. It really feels like a lot of the energy kind of consistent throughout all 3 readings. We're going to be seeing some changes, and we're going to kind of be leveling up in our lives, right? We're going to kind of be upgrading ourselves and being more conscious and more self-aware, hopefully, to better ourselves. It seems like a lot of us throughout these 3 readings are going to be moving towards that kind of self-care energy and giving back to ourselves and community, and I love that for us all. All right, but that was our pick a card reading, timeless reading, so whenever you're finding it applies to you. I hope you all have enjoyed this little tarot episode moment. You know, I gotta switch things up. I can't keep it all the same all the time. We need some spice in our lives, yes? Okay, come on. Let's do it. I had to dust off these old tarot cards. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, and I think they missed me. And this was great. This was wonderful. As always, this was nothing short of an absolute passion and pleasure to co-create this experience with you all. I hope you have enjoyed, and until our next episode, peace and love.